Hi guys, my name is Gaurav Mundra and I'm here to give you some tips on how to crack CET and target the top colleges which are available under the CET. So I did my preparation of CET along with the job, so it would be helpful for all those people who are actually having parallel jobs, and a lot of people you will find who do law because they are already in the job and there is a need for learning the legal aspects of certain things which might help. So that way LLB is a great skill set to be developed. So for purpose of cracking CET, so I am right now into GLC, so I cracked CET in first attempt, and I had constraint of time, so the focus study was what was required. So when you talk to CET, is a quite speed based exam. So if you talk about the toughness of the exam, if you are good at certain basics, I think it should not be a problem for you to crack CET for that matter. Only thing that you would focus is you have to just keep moving. You can't get stuck on one question for that matter, because all it matters is to score maximum. So when it comes to the pattern of the CET is basically into four sections. One is the legal aptitude, one is the general knowledge session, one is the reasoning section, and one is more or less related to verbal. So when you talk about these four sections, two sections, if you have a science background or a maths background, would be pretty straightforward for you. So one is in English and one is mathematics and reasoning. So if you see the pattern, questions are quite easy. Only thing that you need to do is you need to see as many patterns of questions that you can practice, so that there is no surprise element in the main exam, because since it's very time constrained, you need to just quickly solve a question and move to the next question. So for that matter, the course curriculum which is provided by your institute is quite good, and Raj is very helpful. So the material that is designed was extremely helpful for me in terms of finding out the pattern and do a quick learning. When it comes to the legal aspect, so legal is something where you can actually score full marks because it's quite logical. So law is quite logical in that way, and it's not absurd. So if you try to go into the basics of the legal aptitude which is asked, it's quite comprehensive, and you need to focus on 15 to 16 main topics from where the questions are asked. So if you practice them enough and do practice questions, so I think that is how you will be able to score full marks there. So these three sections are the sections where you can actually target almost like 95 to 96% marks and boost your score, which is the prime important part in the CET preparation. When it comes to GK, I would say I prepared from Pratyogita Darpan for last 6 months at least from the date of exam. If you go and read all the Pratyogita Darpans, I think that's the best way you can boost up your GK in a short span of time. And second portion which comes is quite the current topic. So nothing very backdated is asked. It is all static and the live knowledge sessions which you can see. You can watch television, or you can watch if you're a regular reader of newspaper, I think that should be good enough. For static one, you need to go at least a year prior. So for example, you can read Pratyogita Darpan for current affairs, and whatever has happened in last 1 year from last CET to this CET, I think if you get a hang of that, that should be good enough. And the good part about the exam is there's no negative marking, so try to spend minimum amount of time on the GK section, because it is something that if you know, you know; if you don't know, you don't know. So if there are 40 questions, I don't think that you should spend more than 10 minutes of time there. So that's how, if you spend 10 minutes there, the remaining 110 minutes that is there for CET exam would be available for 110 questions. So precisely one question, 1 minute you will have for the other three sections. If you spend too much time on GK, you will not be able to complete the sections where you can actually score full marks, because they are all based on your learnings. GK is something that that is built over years. It cannot be done overnight. So that's how I prepared. I focused on the other three sections which were my strength, and for the remaining one, you can just go with whatever you know you can mark, and then something is called intelligent guess. So if you do that, I think that would be good enough to score somewhere around 115, 120 and secure a seat at your dream college. Probably GLC would be one of the dream colleges. So that is how you can score. So I had 115 marks out of 150 with an AIR of 91. So I think that was good enough for me to get GLC in the first attempt itself. Stay focused, do a very focused study. Just don't go with a lot of material. If you have certain books which you are referring to, just stick on to them, because it's all about clearing the basics. clear the basics, do some sample questions, do some sample papers, and speed up. So it's 120 minutes, 150 questions. So divide how much time are you going to give on one section. So as per me, the best would be 1 minute per question in the 3 sections, and then 10 minutes for total 40 questions in GK. So that is how you should split, and you can score maximum. Best of luck, guys. Best of luck. Yeah, thanks.